Because again, when life exposes you to all of these things that are going to take away parts of your life that aren't serving you, we have to let go of our own agenda to realize that like maybe we play a part in the unfolding of all of it that's far bigger than we are. Happy Hump Day. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Morning Coffee. My name is Rick Alexander, and I host all of the podcasts on the Morning Coffee channel, which will be continuing for 2 more weeks, and then we'll be moving to a new channel. Today, I want to talk about the natural ending of things. You know, one of the things that's odd to me is this idea that we add such an emotional story to when things end, and that emotion tends to be negative. And I find it to be interesting because as you look out in nature, it's like every single thing in the world is in flux, right? And so things are always like dying and being reborn. That's what the Buddhists call samsara, this endless cycle of death and rebirth. And if you look at these like wilted flowers out in the world, it's like there's no expectation. It's not sad that they're wilting. There's almost a beauty to it if you can let go of the fact that you think those flowers need to be there in the first place. And so when we come up to endings in our own lives, a lot of times it's our story that we're telling ourselves about that end that is keeping it from being beautiful, because there's a lot of beauty in a natural ending of things. It's the way of the world, yet the human self-aware side of us feels like we need to cling and grab onto everything based on what we think it should be. And that's the problem, because if you can let go of what you think it should be, you actually open yourself up to experience great beauty, right? That's the wilting flower that's actually pretty beautiful if you can get a good look at it. It's not tragic that flower is going to wilt and be reborn on another season. It's only us that could think that something like that is tragic, but there's a great beauty in it. And the same thing goes for you. If you find that something comes to an ending and it dies, and understanding it's going to be reborn in a different way in a different season, you know, there's great beauty in that. Because, you know, the most important part of an exit is honoring the space that it creates in our lives. So, like, it doesn't matter if it's a breakup, if you get fired from a job, if you leave a job, if you break up with that person, if you find a friendship is coming to its natural ending, or you're not naturally connecting, it's not organic like it used to be. It's like, man, things are really starting to feel forced around here. And what happens with humans is we end up continuing to force ourselves into situations because we have an idea of how they should be. The truth is that however they unfold is almost always more beautiful than what we could imagine if we were to control the outcome. And humans, we get bored really fast when we control the outcome anyway. So we have to really let go of the fact that that's really what we're after. We have to honor the space that these exits create in our lives, because every loss we go through, it's taking with it another synthetic layer of our lives. And that's the perspective I'd like you to get to. It's like when something leaves, it's supposed to. It's organic. It's okay. It's taking away another synthetic layer of your life. And that's why I think rock bottom is such an incredible experience, as tough as it is. You know, I went through my own rock bottom a couple of years ago, and all it did was clarify what's really, truly important. And what I found is I was focusing on a lot of things that were not important. But I could only get there when I let go of the fact that this old life that I really, really wanted was not meant for me, right? I had to let that go so I could see the space that it was creating. And the space it created was beautiful. It's my new book. It's the Morning Coffee podcast. It's a lot of the work I'm doing now. But I had to get there. And to do that, I had to release my own agenda. Like, I had to let go of my own agenda. And if life had an agenda, honestly, I would say that what it is that it wants to create the best version of you possible. Like, think about it. It gives you these gifts, let's say, in the entire world, right? All of our life, you could say, benefits from the gifts that you have. And then life is going to repeatedly expose you to things that demand you stop prioritizing what isn't important or is holding you back in some way. And that's the thing you always find when life comes along or something comes to an ending and we pull up this synthetic layer of our lives. what we understand to be true is that now we're free to pursue the thing that deep down we felt like maybe we wanted to pursue, or we've always had an idea of what we could pursue, or we have this gift that we're not really honoring because there's not enough time between the rat race and the doing and the achieving and the validation and the accolades and everything we've been doing, all of the things we've been going for. It's like good to form an idea of success in your mind and to work for it, right? To work toward it. But I would also say that you should put your effort for success into the moment and then be okay with the unfolding of it all. Because again, when life exposes you to all of these things that are going to take away parts of your life that aren't serving you, we have to let go of our own agenda to realize that like maybe we play a part in the unfolding of all of it that's far bigger than we are. And I believe that. I believe that to be true. I think we have our part to play. And unlike nature, we're the only thing that doesn't understand that all we have to do is play our part, whatever that is, right? We don't have to go around grasping and reaching and trying to be something we're not. It's only our own idea, our own agenda that tells us to. If we could relax and allow life to flow through us, what we'd find is that the possibilities for our lives are continuously opening. The path is continuously presenting itself. The teachers are continuously appearing. But again, we got to let go of our own agenda for that to work out. And so when things come to their natural ending, perhaps you're somewhere around a natural ending right now. We all are. This show, it's coming to its natural end on this channel, right? And if I were to listen to other people's idea of what success is, or if I were to have my own agenda, it would be really easy to look at losing 480 plus episodes. This thing, I'm basically doing a podcast Zen garden, right? A Zen garden's when you create all of these intricate designs and you make it as beautiful as you can, and then you just erase it. If I didn't have my perspective in the right place, if I weren't open to the adventure that life is, it would be really hard for me to go through with this program and go through with this plan. But what I truly believe is that it's time. What I truly believe is it's time for a small pivot to help life flow through me, right? So I can share my gifts with the world in a better, bigger, and more profound way. So I can play my part. And so when it comes to these natural endings, you don't have to fill the void with more of the same. You have to look around and say, well, what am I creating space for right now? What has the world, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, how has that created space in my life? What am I now free to pursue? And I think whatever you come up with as an answer, that's the thing that's going to change your life. Put your focus there. Understand that when things end, it's not the worst thing in the world. It might actually be the best, but you've got to release your own agenda and your own need for control in order to find out how good it could really be. I love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day. We'll talk tomorrow on Morning Coffee.